What's up there, YouTube friends? Cheddar here, back with another video. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good day. And yeah, thanks for joining me for this video. So this is a quick review of the new show, The Penguin, which just debuted today. I watched it on Max. That's where I believe it's only available for. So if you want to check it out, you have to go to Max, the streaming platform. It might be available elsewhere, so you can just check that out online. But I watched episode one because it debuted today, and I just wanted to check it out and see what I thought, see if it's going to be worth continuing. Just to give some context about the show. The show is a continuation of the movie called The Batman, which came out, I think, in 2022, possibly 2023, but starred Robert Pattinson as the Batman. And I didn't love the movie. I thought it was good, but I thought it was okay. I'd probably put it in my C tier. I liked things in it, but there's a lot that I kind of didn't like about the movie too. So particularly its length. So, but I did. That was fine. I thought the Batman was okay. The things that I loved about the Batman, or my favorite parts about that movie, were the villain characters. One of them specifically being Colin Farrell as the Penguin, which is part of why I was curious about this show. So I, yeah, I checked it out. I watched episode one, and this is just a quick, spoiler-free review of that. So yeah, I'll give you my thoughts. So question number one would be, how is it? How is the show so far? It's only episode one was released so far. They haven't released the whole show. They didn't dump the show. So only episode one is out. Question, how is it? It's good. It's off to a good start. It is better than I expected. It's not an amazing episode. I've seen better first episodes, and I'm not knocking it anyway. It's really solid. It's a solid episode one. It introduces what you need to. It was good. It's a crime show, so you're watching the Penguin. If you're not familiar with the Penguin, I mean, he's kind of a goofy Batman character who is called the Penguin because he sort of resembles a penguin with his black and white dressing, and he's short with a waddle. So he that's why it was called the Penguin, but he's always a goofy bank robbing Batman villain, kind of a mid-level Batman villain. He always seemed like more of a joke. I never read any of the deep source material, the comics and stuff. I just know what I've seen in some of the older movies and some of the cartoon shows, and he always just seemed more of a joke villain, less of a serious, threatening villain, like the Joker, or Bane, or Mr. Freeze, many of the other Batman villains, Clayface even. I was a Clayface fan when I was a kid. I loved Clayface. Yeah, the Penguin always just seemed sort of a joke, and Colin Farrell's portrayal of the Penguin is just really good. You can take the Penguin seriously. He's suave. He's funny. Colin Farrell's just such a good actor. I always love him in pretty much everything he's in, and they transform him in this role. You don't even recognize him as the Penguin. So it's the Penguin is being the star of the show, I would say, is the highlight so far, and you're watching him as he's navigating different strings of crime and trying to juggle a couple things. So the show is so far a good crime show. I think it's a good depiction of the Penguin. I'm not familiar with the deep source material, so I'm not sure how the hardcore Batman fans are going to say if it's. I would suspect they say that this is a good interpretation of the Joker, because he's actually the Penguin, because he's actually threatening. He's actually serious. He's a force to be reckoned with. He's not just a joke. And people do treat him a bit like a joker, don't take him seriously in the show. And you'll see him use that to his power sometimes, at least in the first episode. So with just how is it, it's good so far, and I'm curious of episode two. The episode did its job. Episode one did its job of sort of grabbing me. Not a deep hook. I'm not, hooked on the show, but I'm curious of where it's going to go. So I plan on seeing episode 2, and I think it's worth checking out. So if you want to, you don't have to stop the video here, but if you want less information, just know if you should check it out, it's a light thumbs up for me. So it's worth seeing. Question 2 might be, what's the show like? Again, it's a crime show, so you're watching the Penguin, a crime character, do crime things, and I would say the show feels a lot like. Again, we're only at episode 1 so far, so we can't give a full perspective, but it's a lot like the show Boardwalk Empire. If you may have ever seen the show Boardwalk Empire, which stars Steve Buscemi, or Buscemi, might be, I don't think it's Buscemi, Steve Buscemi, as Nucky Thompson, who is a corrupted, basically political figure running crime activities in the gambling world, not the gambling world, I'm sorry, the alcohol prohibition world. And so it's a lot like that. This show is a lot like Boardwalk Empire in the sense where you get a suave Machiavellian main character who, that's just fancy talk for a character that likes to play all of the sides. They look like they're kind of helping everybody, but mostly playing for themselves. And really, they're just being tricky. So you're watching this person, this character, I want to say, evade different traps and just set up different opportunities, long term and short term. So it's a lot like Boardwalk Empire, but Boardwalk Empire is a historical based show, and swap out the history for the Batman, Gotham themed source material as the setting. And Gotham itself is interesting because it's both modern but old timey feeling. You'll see people use smartphones and use that in just a modern way, what you'd expect someone would use a smartphone right now. But the actual look of Gotham too is very perhaps 1950s. It just looks gothic. It looks more classic, not modern city looking. So it has a unique feel to it that does feel like a legit version of Gotham that's believable. So I liked what it's shown so far. I do hope that the show brings in more characters, because right now the Penguin's definitely the driving force of the show, but he is very entertaining. I just wonder if you're just going to be watching him do sort of the same thing, throughout the whole show, because Boardwalk Empire could be a little bit like that. It could be mechanical in its way, where you have these people, like various scenes of people talking in rooms about crime stuff, and then it interlaced with action scenes of shootouts and some interesting death or crime stuff. So it works a lot, even mechanically, like how they put the show together works a lot like Boardwalk Empire so far. Again, we're only at episode 1, so I'm gonna see how else the show plays out. But so far, episode 1, it's between a C plus or a B minus. It's good, not great, but it's good. I like the Penguin, and I want to see how the Penguin's going to navigate what he's doing. I was a fan of Boardwalk Empire. I think I did stop that show at season 4, though. I never finished season 4, but I wanted to. I'm getting the same kind of feels for that for this show, so I'll check it out and I'll see. I'll probably finish season 1 and do a full recap on it. Normally I stick with movies and not TV shows, but yeah, Colin Ferrell was in this one, so I had to check him out. I like following actors that I like seeing, so I wanted to check it out. Obviously I did. So if you made it this far, thank you. This is just a quick review recap of episode 1. It's worth checking out, but it's also, it's hard to tell, give it a full recommend right now because episode 1. But if you have access to Max, it's good to check out for a good, little crime movie. It's an hour long, and it's fun. So check it out, and leave a comment below. But thank you so much. I hope you have a good day. Today's Friday, so if it's your Friday, I hope you have a great weekend. I hope everything's awesome for you. Thank you so much. You rule. Fist bump. Fist bump. You're awesome. I salute you. Good night.